Geraldo Rivera is here for the Daily Take now. You know, you've seen it, like all of us, from all the angles available, Geraldo, and now it does feel like the president is changing course a little bit, sending Tom Homan and some Border Patrol agents, according to Ali Bradley, are moving out. So what do you make of what's happening right now in Minneapolis?
Well, he telegraphed the fact that maybe the beginning of the end last night in the interview he gave to the Wall Street Journal. About time, thank God. You know, I am struck, and I've been, Connell, for the last 48 hours thinking about the eerie similarities between Alex's death and Renee's death. I mean, how did we find out about it? First, it was the iPhone video. In both cases, you could hear a cry, an anguished cry from the person shooting the video that, you know, oh my God, what have you done? What have you done? And it turns out that in both cases, the victim was 37 years old. Renee and Alex, both 37, both Minnesotans, both U.S. born citizens, dying, you know, on this issue, both killed by federal agents who fired multiple shots, and maybe they would have survived the first shot. It's just too much. It's too much, and it's about time. And shame on us for taking this long. But it's just one of those situations where you've had this collision, this unseemly collision between state government and federal government and local governments involved, and cops don't talk to immigration. ICE is doing arresting the worst of the worst, except that they're 5 years old and 2 years old. It's I want this over. It's got to be over. The country cannot long stand this kind of tearing apart. It's awful.
Yeah, so Trump is making some changes here. I think part of it is if you look at the video, okay, and I'll show it again here one time from two angles on the tablet. Okay, we have it up right now, as a matter of fact. And I paused it for a second. So if you continue with the video, one thing you notice is this. I've noticed this. I've talked about it a couple times already. The one agent in the gray leaves with what appears to be Alex Preddy's gun. He had it holstered. He's then, at that point, disarmed. So when we play it from that point forward, then right as we blur it out, the shooting takes place. The gun is already out. Officials, Kristi Noem and others, are asked about it afterwards, said, you know, he was brandishing a weapon, or that he was a domestic terrorist, that kind of thing. And now today we have these changes. Tom Homan's headed in. As part of that, Caroline Leavitt asked about it in the White House briefing room today. Watch.
Should the deployment of Mr. Homan to Minneapolis be seen as a sign that the president is dissatisfied with how the officials on the ground had handled the incident?
No. Mr. Homan is doing an exceptional job, and he has been working with Secretary Noem and President Trump over the course of the last year. Secretary Noem still has the utmost confidence and trust of the President of the United States.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure you know Tom Homan, so your thoughts on him going in, but also on whether Noem, I know they're saying she's not sidelined, but Noem being certainly diminished in her role in Minnesota, it appears, and now these Border Patrol agents, according to Ali Bradley, who had been working under Bovino, are starting to head home as well.
Well, Bovino's calling this domestic terrorism is... you know, he should be demoted. He should be banished from the scene. He's done a terrible job, and Secretary Noem has not been much better with her rhetoric. Placing blame on the dead victims, and that they're going to use these weapons to massacre law enforcement, said Bovino, the commander you're looking at right there. They're going to massacre law enforcement. What's his proof of that? The fact that that Alex had a weapon on him. What about the Second Amendment? All the proponents of the Second Amendment were certainly alarmed by the fact that the mere fact that a guy's got a gun on him in a state where he's got a license to conceal carry. The problem with this, Connell, is that people are deciding whether this is good or bad based on whether they're Republican or Democrat, progressive or conservative, left or right. It's the politics talking. It's the ideology talking. It's not the facts that are talking anymore. This isn't about immigration anymore. This is about ideology. And I think that the president, with his acute sense of what's appropriate, has said that this is enough. Basta. Forget about it. This isn't happening. And another thing, how can you only send enforcement on immigration to blue states and blue cities? Is that the way to be a great president, to do that selective enforcement based on your politics? I think that this is a real lesson. Let it end here. We had Los Angeles, we had Chicago, now Minneapolis. Enough is enough. Yeah. Let's go after the worst of the worst, like you said you were going to do, and leave the kids out of it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.